Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Modern Warfare video. In tonight's video, we have some important updates to talk about that the developers have been tweeting about and responding to the community about. We're going to cover tank nerfs that will be coming to this game, kill feed changes, a gunfight ranked system, and hints at even more 725 nerfs possibly coming. A lot of stuff that of course the developers have been talking to the community, specifically on Twitter and Reddit, and I go through everything, try to keep you guys up to date, and basically talk about the stuff that is important. A lot of this stuff is just basically people complaining about bug fixes or different challenges not counting, which of course that is all stuff that the developers are taking serious and are trying to work on and fix. But we also get some hints dropped on the timeline quite a bit by Joe Secott, by Ashton, or by David, who all worked for Infinity Ward as developers, and a lot of cool stuff to talk about in this video that I think you guys in the community will be interested in, because personally I was interested in this stuff and I think it's worth talking about. If you guys could drop a like on this video, that would be absolutely incredible. Let's go ahead and go for 803 likes. If we could hit that, that would be absolutely awesome. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and not already subscribed. Once again, thank you for 1 million subscribers. It's crazy to even say that. I'm so appreciative and I'm just very thankful to be able to be here and to be able to make these videos for you guys and have people enjoy them and watch them. So drop a like, subscribe if you guys are new. It only takes a millisecond, and let's go ahead and break this down and get right into it. So this is all happening on Twitter. We have Joe Secott, who is one of the people that's the developer for Infinity Ward, and he's honestly been the most vocal in the community this year. I'm not sure necessarily about which one of these people is the community manager versus just a game developer versus a co-designer, but you know, we just look to whoever is going to be talking to the community and going to be vocal, and Joe Secott, Ashton, and David Mickner have all been fairly vocal this year, but especially Joe Secott. Now the first tweet we have here, this is interesting. Nerfs are going to be coming to the tanks, and it's about time, I think. You know, it's about time they said something about this, because they've remained pretty much silent about this so far. So of course, FaZe Pomage, who is a legend in the Call of Duty community, a legendary sniper, he tweets at Joe Secott saying, "I watched the movie Fury and the tank eventually ran out of ammo. Can that be a thing in this game? Please." So kind of just joking around, but Joe Secott responds with a very telling tweet: "We need to nerf the tanks a bit." And these guys that work at Infinity Ward, they don't just tweet things that are BS, they tweet things that are important. We've gotten so many updates from, you know, people like this talking about the game and telling us what they're working on in the design studios currently, because they're working there every day at Infinity Ward, trying to fix stuff in the game and trying to update it to what the community likes and what of course will be the best business for them. So this is interesting. It doesn't tell us exactly what's going to happen, but we need to nerf the tanks a bit. This is a little telling. A bit, I honestly think maybe you need a little bit more than a bit of a nerf for the tanks, especially on that map Quarry, where I mean, it's just like you can get up on the hill, you can pick people off, you know, White Boy 7th streak in the world's fastest nuke a day into the game or whatever that was. It was a pretty funny video, you know, stuff like that is always happening with these tanks, and the fact that you can earn kill streaks in these tanks, the fact that they said in patch notes a long time ago that you couldn't earn a nuke anymore in the tanks, but that was still in the game for a while. Not sure if it's still in the game to this day, where if you run Point Man you can still get nukes with the tanks. I really don't know. Personally, I'm not really a tank player myself, but I would love to see them nerf, because it really did ruin that Quarry map, especially on one side of the map where you're just trying to run through and you basically have to stay to the other side of the map if you don't want people up on the hill just wrecking you with the tanks. And not only is that the problem, once they wreck you with the tank, they get the kill streaks and wreck you 3 times over, especially if they kill streak glitch it or whatever's going on in the community. So really important that this nerf is going to be coming in, and we need to nerf the tanks a bit. Definitely doesn't really tell us too much info, but obviously that nerfs to the tanks will be coming, and hopefully sooner rather than later. Next tweet also is kind of telling here, where a player responded, Kazi, who says, Kazi Woe, he says, "By tanks, did you mean the 725 winky face?" And Joe Secott responds here saying, "Ha, no, but yes." And this is interesting. Once again, it's like, you know, they might just be joking around, but I don't think so. The developers at Infinity Ward, they're pretty strategic with what they tweet and what they choose to ignore and what they choose to respond to. There's certain topics the community, you know, wants to talk about that they really haven't addressed, and there's other topics where they love to talk about them all day long, because for whatever reason, I don't really know. But no, but yes, this is interesting. So he obviously understands the joke. The guy's joke is that by tanks, you mean the 725, because the 725 725 is a tank of the weapon. Ha ha ha, right? Really good joke. But him saying huh, no, but yes is interesting. The way that I take this is it means that probably that we're going to get more 725 nerfs incoming, and I think that's something that is kind of needed, especially with the fact that whether it's nerfing the weapon directly to the damage to the range like they've done many times, or just slowing down the reload time with sleight of hand, or hitting on the overkill. I think there's multiple ways they could go about this, but in my opinion, especially on a map like Shoot House 24/7, which is probably my favorite thing to play as of right now, that map is kind of, I won't say ruined, but if you're in a lobby with 2 or 3 people on the enemy team running the 725, you just have to hope they miss their shot up close. There's not too much you can do against that, especially based on the fact that they don't really get punished by using it because you can just overkill it with an M4 or with an MP5 or whatever. So, no, but yes, who knows what that means? Maybe it means nothing, but the way that I take it is probably we're going to get some sort of 725 nerf incoming. I was already thinking that, and who knows if this tweet means anything like that, but it definitely points more towards that. But definitely we need to nerf tanks a bit is something that they need to do, and they're probably going to be getting around to it hopefully soon. Next is with the kill feed. There were some updates to the kill feed, and there was a lot of things that, especially for players that are sniping, trying to get quad feeds, 5-ons, really was not the best, because there was a lot of random stuff that wasn't the most important to actually gameplay, notifying the players popping up in the kill feed, including what they did with the new wall bang sort of penetration logo, which was cool, but it wasn't cool because if you got like double headshots, or there was some sort of issue with the snipers. I'm not sure. I'm not completely entirely sure on it, but I know that I was keeping up to date with Twitter, and a lot of the snipers were very adamant about tweeting the developers that this could be a big problem in the game. And David Mickner actually addressed this. He says that this upcoming patch removes prints to the obit, such as player promoted, avenged you, saved you. Collats with bullets on the same frame will go back to the classic feed. The penetration icon will only show on single kills, so not on collaterals. We'll continue to look at obit issues. So basically this means that, stuff like player promoted, avenged you, and saved you that was really popping up into the kill feed and really affecting a lot of the snipers, that was, maybe ruining their clips or just cluttering the kill feed, which has always been a thing that a lot of the community doesn't really worry about, but people that want to go for montages or sniper clips, just have clean gameplays, it is a big deal. And of course, Joe Seacott was responding to a SOAR player, actually, who was talking about that, saying that David Micknar just did a pass to clean this up, and it's coming to an MW game near you in a future update. So probably in the next update, we will be getting these changes, as well as hopefully some tank nerfs. Next thing here is player Ghost Chips was tweeting at Ashton, talking about, is there a time frame on when issues regarding objectives will be patched, and also will the 24 maps stay as a feature? Now, this is a big deal because personally for me, I was a COD Ghost fan, that there were certain modes and maps that weren't the best at all in that game, but Strike Zone 24/7, I could load that up any day of the time, tell my friends to get on the Xbox 360, get in the party, and just enjoy that game mode. I was running around with specialists, dropping chem strikes. And Ashton responds, talking about the 24/7, obviously Shoot House 24/7 is what we have right now. First, she says we have a fix in, that's regarding the objective sort of challenge issues, but waiting for the green light. As for 24/7, will most likely rotate them in and out over time. Now, this is interesting. I'm hoping that, I don't know what this means, if they're going to be rotating different 24/7s in, or most likely, I think they'll probably be removing the Shoot House 24/7 at some point and maybe going with different limited modes, but I'm hoping that they at least keep something in for the players that want to play that traditional style, fast-paced 6v6. If they were to do other maps 24/7, personally, I'd probably like Hackney Yard. I think that would be my #1 pick, other than Shoot House, would be Hackney Yard. Probably my second pick would be, I don't know, maybe like a Gun Runner. This is just talking 6v6 stuff. Let me know in the comment section down below if you could see anything be 24/7 other than Shoot House. What would you like to see? But this definitely means that it's not going to be sticking around probably for the entire life cycle of the game, which is a little bit disappointing, but kind of expected, honestly, when it comes down to it. Next tweet we have here is talking about the patch update we had the other day, which of course this one was updated. The patch notes came out around 9 or 10 Pacific Standard Time. The update was around midnight, and King Prodigy from Doom Clan tweeted at Ashton, basically saying, quick question, are these updates going to continue to be at 2 a.m. all the time? Because of course that's something like, for me, honestly, I'm a sort of late night owl, or whatever they call it. I kind of like the late night uploads, updates and uploads. Updates and uploads. I don't really like when there was 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's a little bit too too early for me, especially if I'm staying up late gaming or working on videos. But Astrum responds saying in the future, yes, we'll get on a different schedule that's more consistent as we go. So this is a kind of important news that, of course, we've always traditionally had Tuesday morning 10 a.m. updates where they'd throw some stuff into the files on Monday, release it 10 a.m. on Tuesday. And as of right now, the updates have been sort of sporadic. The hot fixes, the actual patch updates coming out 2 a.m., 3 a.m., midnight sometimes. So obviously this is because they're working hard on fixing stuff that's bugged in this game or just updating the game consistently. And when it's ready to go, I guess they just want to get it out as quick as possible, which is kind of nice for us as a player base, but it is kind of inconsistent. And as they get on more of a updated schedule as the life cycle progresses, we'll probably get more into those 10 a.m. releases. So people that are worried about that, it's definitely interesting. Next, we have a nice tweet here from Shots, tweeting at David Micknar saying, any news on what happened to the Gunfight tournament bracket system? Did it get scrapped from the game? And David Micknar responds saying, I really want to say more, but someone will send 141 to my house. It's progressing nicely for a public debut. More info will be coming in the near future. Now, this is interesting, and this is something I don't really see anyone talking about. Maybe you guys all knew in the comment section down below. Maybe I just missed this on, I before the game came out, but Gunfight as a ranked system, and I kind of did assume that was going to happen because they're so passionate and adamant about having people play Gunfight, which is even shown from this next tweet up on the screen right now, where a player responds to a conversation with COD and David Vonderhaar saying, who plays Gunfight? And he says, a lot of people actually, I have all the numbers. So of course, they, like I said, Activision and Infinity Ward, they have all the back end data. They can see if a weapon has a 1.4 KD overall and it's overpowered and has to get nerfed, or if a weapon has a 0.6 overall. They can see how many people are playing each mode, how many people are backing out of each map. I mean, they have everything when it comes to the data points, but definitely looking for progressing nicely for a public debut. More info coming in the future. Who knows what this means with Call of Duty? I mean, what was in IW in Infinite Warfare? We got like leaderboard 6 months into the game. That was pretty laughable, to be honest. So who knows when this will come out? But definitely, I think that, I know a lot of my friends are really into the Gunfight. I really haven't played it the most myself. But if there's more of a ranked system where you can play, that's where you want to have more competitive play, and it's more like a 2v2 sort of search and destroy sort of aspect. Of course, it's different than that, but I think that could be really, really cool. Progressing nicely for a public debut, as he says. Next tweet we have basically is the private match third-party spectating glitch. Now, this has been ruining a lot of different private match search and destroy matches, and really it's not really the way that Call of Duty should sort of be, where you can just die and then you can spectate and call out to the enemies and all that sort of stuff. I'm assuming that's what they're talking about here. Joe Seacott responds saying, I want it fixed as much as you. And this is what I mean by I appreciate Joe by coming out and talking to the community like this. He's definitely the most vocal out of all the developers so far this year. And of course, like I've said before in other videos, it's not like, you can't just yell at like him, like he controls the whole entire game. He is just an employee for Infinity Ward as well. And of course, he's a very important employee, you would think. I really don't know, but based on, him speaking to the public quite openly, you would think he has a good influence there. But at the end of the day, there's a whole team, there's whole systems. This is a big company that just because, if a YouTuber wants something or a developer wants something or even like the top developer wants something, it doesn't mean it's going to happen, because it all has to go through a bunch of different sources and then eventually get patched or updated depending on what works best for their business. Next was another tweet from Era Mars, who's a sniper, saying that, I'm not sure if this is a bug or not, but in every other COD, you can get at least 4 kills with a single sniper bullet, and you really can't do that in this game. Would appreciate a fix on the collaterals. And Joe Seacott responds just saying, noted. So once again, these people don't really tweet randomly. It's kind of strategic, so probably a fix to this for a lot of stuff for the snipers in this next, or who knows if it's the next update, but in these upcoming updates. That is interesting. And then as far as the last 2 tweets we have here, these are just things that were sort of interesting, that were just suggestions or just some sort of talk back and forth. These things aren't happening for sure or anything like that. But Jose Avila tweets saying, any plans to add different rewards for trials? I think they're awesome, but other rewards apart from experience would make the grind even more worth it. And that's definitely true. I mean, the level up in the experience system, it is kind of, I don't know how it is as of right now. Once you get max level, you're kind of just chilling. I guess you want to level up all your weapons, complete the officer challenges, but a lot of people, we're used to the prestige system, and of course it's going to be interesting once they start doing these different seasons and battle pass. We can't really judge the rank system as of right now. I wouldn't say it's the best at all, but maybe after, we have to wait and see once they really even haven't got the ball rolling on that. But Astrum responds just saying, good suggestion, which who knows what this means, if this means it's coming, if this means it's not. It basically means it's a good suggestion and something they're definitely considering. as well as this next tweet, which I thought was very interesting as well, from Alvin. He says, are there going to be any adjustments to the stun grenades? I think the stem pack should cancel the effect. And Joe Seacott responded saying, interesting idea, no promises, smiley face. Now, this definitely is interesting. If that would be something that could cancel the effects of the stun grenades, who really knows? I don't know. That sounds like an interesting idea. And once again, it is cool that these developers are replying to the community and keeping us up to date on some things. We still are in the dark on a lot of things. And there's some things like even advanced UAV getting a 10-second buff. It wasn't in the patch notes, wasn't said by any developers, was basically only known because of YouTubers and pub stompers and people that, check stuff in private match, testing it out and experiencing that, because everyone was complaining about the advanced UAV being so short. And then of course the update, and of course when you update the advanced UAV and you throw shoot house in, it sort of puts the cherry or the icing on the cake, you could say, because it's you can get a lot of kills out of 40 seconds or 38 seconds, I think it is, on shoot house. And that's like I talked about in my how to get a nuke video that I just uploaded earlier. Anyway, hopefully this video did keep you guys up to date. Like I said, the stuff you want to look out for that's definitely coming are going to be tank nerfs, kill feed changes, a gunfight ranked system. We don't really know when. A lot of the stuff is going to be coming out soon. A lot of the stuff probably more into the future, and also some hints at more 725 nerfs. I honestly do think 725 nerfs are probably coming. They still have to do a lot of weapon balance, in my opinion. There's still quite a few weapons that are just aren't as good, and they can't compete with other weapons in this class. But that's normal. The game hasn't been out for what, not even 3 weeks, somewhere around there. So there definitely is some time to update this and to wait and see. But this is all the stuff that I think was worth talking about. I scanned through everyone's Twitters, scanned through what developers were talking about, and try to bring it all to you guys for info right here. Drop a like, subscribe, and I'm definitely hyped about the tank nerfs, the kill feed changes. That's stuff that I really want to see. And honestly, I think they really do need to nerf the 725 again, at least with the fact that overkill shoot house, it's literally like a camper's shotgun paradise on that map as of right now. And I think it just is the way it is. If there's 2 players in the enemy team or 3 running that, it's so hard to get a nuke or any streaks going. You kind of just have to avoid them and hope they miss their shots, or try to keep them at a distance and adapt, as people would say, which is kind of hard to do. The way to adapt is by hiding and sitting back in the building, because if you run out and try to push corners, they're just going to boop one-shot you with the shotgun. Anyway, thanks for watching. Obviously, I hope they keep the shotgun strong, but I really think the biggest issue right now, not necessarily is that the 725 is overpowered, but the fact that you can overkill with 5 attachments on the primary, 5 attachments on the secondary. It is pretty ridiculous. Anyway, thanks for watching. Drop a like, subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one. And that's about it. I'm out. Peace.